If I waited until I felt ready, I would not have built the businesses, property projects, skills, confidence, or freedom I have today. And I really want you to hear that, because readiness is one of the biggest traps people fall into. It sounds responsible. It sounds mature. It sounds like you are being careful and smart. But a lot of the time, I'm not ready yet is just fear wearing a nice outfit. It sounds like logic, but underneath it, there is usually fear of failing, fear of looking silly, fear of being judged, fear of losing money, fear of making the wrong decision, fear of people saying, "Who does she think she is?" I know this because I have been there. I have had seasons where I did not have the full plan. I had children, responsibilities, bills, pressure, deadlines, risk, uncertainty, and people watching what I was doing. I have made decisions while life was messy. I have had to learn while moving. I have had to figure things out without everything being perfect. And what I learned very quickly is that no one comes along and hands you the perfect moment. There is no magical day where all the fear disappears, all the bills are paid, everyone supports you, the plan is crystal clear, and you suddenly wake up feeling completely confident. Most of the time, that day never comes. You either choose to move with what you have, or you stay exactly where you are, wishing things were different. And I am not saying you should act recklessly. I am not saying throw everything away, make silly decisions, or pretend risk does not exist. That is not wisdom. What I am saying is that you have to stop using uncertainty as a reason to do nothing. Because in property, business, marketing, online income, investing, trading, and personal growth, there will always be something you do not know yet. There will always be a missing piece. There will always be someone ahead of you. There will always be a skill you still need to learn. There will always be a moment where you think, what if this does not work? But the people who move forward are not always the smartest people in the room. They are not always the ones with the most money, the most confidence, or the perfect background. They are the ones who are willing to learn fast. They ask better questions. They get around people who know more than them. They take the messy first step. They improve as they go. And they do not quit just because the first version was not perfect. When I look back on my life, so many of my biggest turning points came from one small decision. One conversation, one opportunity, one property project, one new skill, one decision to learn something I did not understand yet. It sounds responsible, it sounds mature, it sounds like you are being careful and smart, but a lot of the time, I'm not ready yet is just fear wearing a nice outfit. It sounds like logic, but underneath it, there is usually fear of failing, fear of looking silly, fear of being judged, fear of losing money, fear of making the wrong decision, fear of people saying, "Who does she think she is?" But those decisions created momentum, and momentum changes everything. Because confidence is not something you sit around waiting to receive. Confidence is built by proving to yourself that you can take action and survive the unknown. You start, you make mistakes, you learn, you adjust, you become more capable. You realize that one mistake does not destroy you. You realize that you are stronger than you thought. You realize that you can handle more than you gave yourself credit for. And slowly, you become the kind of person who no longer needs everything to be perfect before you move. That is where real confidence comes from. Not from thinking about it forever, not from watching everyone else do it, not from saving another video, downloading another freebie, or telling yourself, "I'll start next month." Confidence usually comes after action, and that is the part most people get backwards. They think, when I feel confident, I will start. But the truth is you start first, and then confidence starts catching up. You take one honest step, then another, then another. You build evidence, you build proof, you build skill, you build trust in yourself. And eventually the thing that once felt impossible becomes part of who you are. The first step does not have to be massive. It might be learning how online income actually works. It might be understanding marketing. It might be looking at property differently. It might be learning how to create content. It might be building a simple offer. It might be joining a community. It might be having one uncomfortable conversation. It might be finally admitting that your current situation is not enough for the life you actually want. Because sometimes the hardest part is not starting the business, buying the property, learning the skill, or creating the offer. Sometimes the hardest part is being honest with yourself. Honest that you want more, honest that you are tired of feeling stuck, honest that you have been waiting for permission, honest that you want more, honest that you are tired of feeling stuck, honest that you have been waiting for permission. But staying where you are has a cost too. Doing nothing has a cost. Waiting has a cost. Another year of not starting has a cost. Another year of saying one day has a cost. And I do not say that to scare you. I say it because sometimes we only look at the risk of moving forward, but we do not look at the risk of staying the same. There is risk in trying, but there is also risk in never trying. There is risk in building something new, but there is also risk in depending on one income, one job, one system, or one version of yourself forever. And for me, freedom has never come from waiting until life was easy. Freedom came from making brave decisions while life was still messy. It came from learning. It came from getting uncomfortable. It came from backing myself before everyone else understood what I was doing. It came from building skills that gave me options. Because that is what this is really about. Options. More income gives you options. More knowledge gives you options. More confidence gives you options. More skills give you options. Better conversations give you options. And when you have more options, you stop feeling so trapped by life. You start moving differently. You start thinking differently. You start seeing opportunities that you used to miss. You stop waiting to be rescued and you start becoming the person who creates the next door. So I want you to stop asking, am I ready? That question will keep you stuck. Instead, ask yourself, what is the next honest step? Not the perfect step, not the biggest step, not the step that impresses everyone. The next honest step. That question changes everything because it takes you out of fantasy and into movement. And movement is where your life starts to change. Freedom is not created in one giant leap. It is created through repeated brave decisions. Small steps, better habits, better skills, better conversations, better structure, more courage, more self-trust, and the willingness to back yourself before the proof is obvious to everyone else. So if this is the season where you want more income, more confidence, more direction, and more options, do not wait until you feel completely ready. Start with the next step. Start before you talk yourself out of it again. Start with the thing that helps you understand what is possible. If you want to learn how online income can work and start building a clearer path forward, grab the Online Income Blueprint. Comment Blueprint or visit the link and take the first step today.